I don't even want to reform the NCAA particularly. Give the players some share of the money, drop the scholarships unless the guys really want to go to class. Keep the band. I'm not sure what my first guest tonight thinks about all this. I only know that we have somehow gotten him to stay up till 11 p.m., 9 hours after his bedtime. The co-host of Pardon the Interruption and the man who succeeded me as the most difficult talent in ESPN history by vote and general acclaim, Tony Kornheiser. It's a pleasure to have you here, sir.
They'll be held to pay in the morning, and my morning starts at 4 in the morning because at my age, that's when I get up.
Yeah, just thinking, it's basically started already.
Yeah.
We talked about this before when you got in, and it's a pleasure to have you here, as I said, but I've never once heard anybody say why we still pretend that college football, college basketball, the big-time college sports, the other ones, are amateur or somehow different than the pro sports.
I don't get it. I mean, at this point, there may have been a time 50, 60, 80 years ago when there was a notion that amateur sports were pure and they were played by us and not them, and the them played pro sports, and it was somehow dirty and soiled because they needed the money to do it. But that's long gone, because now the money is the engine that drives everything with college sports, obviously. Here's a kid, I don't know if he took money or he didn't take money, but I'm sure he's smart enough to understand that when he sits in a room and he signs a bunch of footballs, even if he wants some of them to go to charity, that somebody else sitting in that room is going to make some money off it. He's smart enough to understand all of that. I think the coaches make money off football. The schools make money. They get applications. They get alumni contributions. We make money. We talk about college. Last time I looked, they paid me. I think they're paying you.
Oh, yes. We're sitting here doing it now. We're talking about Johnny Manziel being paid to do that now.
And the only people that don't make money are the college athletes, and I think they need some sort of representation. What's that firm? Lightfoot, someone with someone?
Lightfoot, Hotfoot, and and beat your
foot
out of town.
Yeah,
exactly.
I mean, I think that college athletes need some representation. And we talked about this before, and I've said this on PTI for a while. I believe it is not long in the future, really not long in the future, when the top 64 football-playing schools say to the NCAA, hasta la vista, baby. And we're going to make our own 4 conferences. We're going to have an 8-team or a 16-team tournament. We're going to crown a national championship. And do I hear a bid for how much you want to pay for this? And yeah, we're going to police ourselves because we have to set borders for ourselves. But we don't need the NCAA.
But does this new super semi-pro league, does it make a deal with the players rather than calling them student athletes? Just say, hey, look, you're going to get $35,000 a semester while
I don't know
you're
what the money
is.
It is. I know what they say now is that there's the psychic income of a college scholarship, and far be it from me to knock that.
Indeed.
Because a lot of people need scholarships, and education is the way up and out for. I'm a guy who went to public college, so I know how this works. But guys who want to play pro ball are not there to matriculate for an academic degree. They are trying to do what someone who's a prodigy in the piano wants to do. Get enough training to go make some money. Now, I'm pretty sure that if I was a great piano player at age 19, Johnny Manziel's age, right? Yeah. And I was at a particular university, and someone offered me money to play a wedding or a bar mitzvah, that the school would let me do it and let me keep my eligibility to be in the orchestra, don't you think?
I believe that's legit.
Right. So, I mean, if you pay the athletes, maybe even if you pay the athletes like in basketball, maybe they'll stay in school longer. They won't go to the D League. Maybe they'll stay in school and hone their craft.
But
I mean, Johnny Manziel is already prevented from earning a living by a collective bargaining agreement with the NFL that he had no say in.
Right. If you have that super conference, or even if you don't, if a lightning strikes the NCAA and they go, my God, we've been doing this wrong all these years, make a contract. If you're giving a contract that's going to give you this exposure and opportunity to grow as a player, you're staying for 2 years, whatever the sport is. But there's no equity in it. I mean, there's a push now against unpaid internships in broadcasting, in finance, wherever it is, that this is somehow unfair to the students. But we're still having athletes in this day and age doing it.
There's a notion that we are protecting children.
Yeah.
Okay. There are child labor laws in this country for child actors to protect them often from their own parents who are going to steal their money. It seems like athletes who are making money for the schools, making money for the coaches, and keep making money for you and I are the only people who are not protected against the abuses of power by people making money.
But, Tony, what do you think they think, whoever they are, the decision makers, what do they think is going to happen if tomorrow they said, all right, this pretense that it's all amateurs, like the Olympics, the pretense that it's all amateurs, that's going away. It's now going to be all professionals. They may be controlled, there may be scholarships involved, but we're going to take all this above board.
Right.
Do they suspect that 7,500 people would show up to the Michigan-Ohio State game and the other 100,001 seats would be empty because those people would say, my God, I've been misled?
They're all going to go, and if it's at Ohio State, Urban Meyer will make sure that you don't wear blue when you walk into the stadium. No, I mean, you mentioned the Olympics. How do they do on TV? They make money.
Yeah.
And now people can make money in the Olympics,
Exactly.
can't they?
And they could
Did
make
the
money in their-
world
right.
end? College football is not going to end. College football is the most popular of the college sports, and it's not going to end at all. Most people in this country, I think, don't care if people get paid or don't get paid. They come to see the game.
Yeah.
That's what it's about. And by the way, if you pay them, you may get a higher level of play.
Right, but there's no reason why the universities could not be what they are now, which is sponsors for pro teams. What's the difference
That's
at Texas
what they
A&M?
do.
Exactly. But
That's
just
what they
say
do.
it, and then you eliminate.
Those are the minor leagues of
Exactly.
football and basketball. And by the way, and again, I'm not knocking scholarships. People who get athletic scholarships, they're not taking a seat that your child was going to get.
Right.
These are additional seats. And now what they are a labor force that is vastly underpaid because they don't make anything at all.
And lastly on this topic, what does A&M do about Manziel relative to this game?
If I'm A&M, okay, I want to go all in with this kid because he revitalized my program and he put me on the map and he's making me a lot of money. But if there's a back channel deal, it's possible. In other words, if they find out if you declare him ineligible for Rice, a team you should beat anyway, and he's eligible for Alabama, the game that everybody in America wants to see, maybe they take that option. But if I'm them, I'm going to say prove it.
Right.
Go ahead and prove all the malfeasance because I don't think you can do it.